Morning guys, Gary here at Gary's Practical Workshop. Right, got something to show you. Yesterday I picked up the crankcases and some of the side covers for the engine, the Z1 engine, the original engine. I know it's a long time, but if you remember, cast your mind back, got to be quite a few months ago now. There they all are. That's the crankcases for the original engine. Now, if you'd seen that, I think you did see it actually, or you may have seen it. I'll take a couple of stills from the video I took. It was absolutely covered. And I'm going to give you the name of the guy that did this. Look at that. Absolutely peachy. First class vapor blasting. I've seen some vapor blasting, but that is really, really high standard. Really high standard. I'm just going to get a piece out to show you what I mean. Let's get a small piece out. Look at that. I will include his name and his company in the video, but that is pretty good work by anybody's standards. Super clean and shiny. I reckon that's probably shinier than what it was when it was new. Yeah. Anyway, let's put that back. There's another piece. This is the cam chain tensioner, the housing. Let's see if I can get the light on it. Look at the quality of that. First class. So what I'll do is put that all back in there. I'm going to cover that up. Now that is ready for assembly, but I've still got quite a bit of work to do on some of the other parts. Today, I've been after one of these for quite some time, and maybe call it a retirement present, I don't know. But I've been after one of these for a while. I don't know if any of you guys have seen the RT, the BMW RT. I bought that many years ago. Well, not many years ago, but 2 years ago. And my mum was pretty ill, and the motorhome was being worked on, as I've mentioned before. And I needed something to get down to Bristol, because she was in a bit of a bad way. And I needed to be able to get there quick. That's not to say I'm breaking any speed limits, but I needed to get there quick if I needed to get there. So I bought this BMW R1250, and I was very impressed with it. I'm not really a BMW man, but I was impressed with this bike. As most of you know, I would like to work on Kawasaki's. But the work I've been doing on the Z1 has not completely come to an end, because we still got to rebuild that engine. But when I bought the RT, I was so impressed, I decided that I would see what the GS was like. Now, originally I wanted the GS, but couldn't get one at the time. This is the 1200 GS, but one recently come up, and I've met a very nice chap, really helpful. We've done a deal, and I got a few extras with it. One of those extras were these, the luggage boxes, panniers, aluminium. Solid, pretty good, but the keys are different. This key here does the outside, and the ignition key, well, it's keyless ignition, but the key which is on that key, if you see what I mean, does these two. And you can see there the barrel's missing, and this is what I found out. I've done a bit of research on this. Now, I hope I can pick this out, but we'll see. Right, chaps, I don't know if you can see this. I might wobble the camera a little bit, but this is the barrel which we've got out. And if you notice here, we've got the little button at the top. That's the right way up, with the BMW logo on the top. At least I think it is, because we've got this little springy one here. Let me get my pry a minute and I'll try and show you. Now, it may go a bit blurry because This is only on my phone. That is a springy one. That's what holds the barrel into the housing of the lock. So we'll just bear that one in mind. Now, this applies to both sides, this side and that side. When you do any work on this, put your finger underneath to support the wafers on the underside, because when you pull the key out, which you're going to need to do to get the numbers, they may drop out, and you want to be able to keep them in as you pull the key out. So let's see if we can pull the key out, ease it out slowly, just a little bit of ease. Now that means now, I don't know if you can see that, these tumblers, or wafers as BMW call them, they've popped up because they're on a spring. Each one is on a spring. If we pull one of those out, I'll try and do it very carefully. On one of the sides of that tumbler, there is a number. So I'll put it back in. There is a number, and that number you need to record. And it's the same for the middle one, this one here, which could come out quite easily, and this one here. The last but one slot, leave blank. Don't put anything in that, just keep that blank. And that's that side. So the tumblers don't fall out from underneath, we'll put the key back. And if you look carefully, all the tumblers have gone down because the key's pulling them down, which allows the barrel to turn. So if we turn it up the other way, so the key fob lock for the key itself to pop out is upright, and then we'll support underneath, and we'll gently shift that key out, and you'll see as we move out all the tumblers will come up a bit. So effectively that's what stops the barrel from turning. And it's the same on these come out. We can actually pull one of these out. I'll pull the middle one out. Can you see that one there? I'll pull the middle one out with the pliers. And on there somewhere, there is a number. Obviously, I'm not going to reveal all those numbers because that would be silly. And if you look carefully there, you can see the spring. There's a spring there. Just watch you don't lose the springs as you take them out. And now I'm going to put the key back exactly the same way it came out. And you'll see those wafers go back down. And the only one protruding now is the one underneath. So we'll turn it back round so the logo's on the top. And we can see that one there. And that's the one that you have to depress at the back of the barrel when you take the whole thing out of the housing. So I'm going to push this back in now. I'm going to turn the camera around. Yeah, I'm going to push this back in, turn the camera, and then we'll go over our drawing. I don't know if the light will pick that up, but this here, this little springy one, you need to wiggle it around in the housing, the barrel, to get it to go back in. But it should do. It came out, so it's got to go back in. There you go. So what we've actually done is we've compressed that spring wafer, which is the one that locks it. And I don't know if you'll see that, but it just pops out here, just here. Now we should have a lock. So we lock, so that's unlocked, close, lock, key out. You need this key, this part, to unlock not just the panniers but other areas of the bike as well, maybe the sat nav or something. But there you go, hope that helps. Just a quick video to give you an idea of how to change the tumblers slash wafers slash tumblers on a BMW GS 1250. I think it may apply to the other bikes, I'm not sure, maybe the 1200 RT, but you do your homework before you start looking at this and taking some of the locks apart. Just check it out, you might have to call BMW. Before I go, I'm just going to show you the drawing. What I've done, obviously I've not written my numbers there because that means you could all pinch me bike and that wouldn't be very smart. But if you look closely, what we've got here is, this is the key with the button upright. So we know we got 1, 2, 3. As you find those numbers, write them down according to the hole and the wafer where it fits in that hole. You do that side, which is top side. That one there is the spring wafer or spring lock. It's like a pin, but it's a flat pin. I know it sounds crazy, but they call it a pin, but I would call it just a spring lock that is in the actual barrel, and I've marked that spring. We turn the key up the other way, and then of course we got the other 3 on the other side, and each one, as you take it out, will have a number on it. Gather your numbers, write them down, and then you've got a pattern to do the same by getting the right wafers for every barrel on your bike, every lock barrel on your bike. I hope that helps. Any comments, stick them down below. Let me come back to you. Yeah, I hope that helps. Any comments, stick them down below. Any questions regarding what I've just shown you, again, stick it down below. If you do like what you see, and I don't normally say this because I forget all about it, but do subscribe, hit the little bell. I know I haven't put a video out for a while, but hopefully as we come into the end of the spring, end of the summer, and we start going into autumn, then that will change, because as I said earlier on the video, I've got all the casings back, or most of the casings back, that have been vaporized for the Z1 engine, and I will be starting that rebuild when we're ready to do that. This is Gary at Gary's Practical Workshop. Ride safe, drive safe if you're driving, and I'll be back soon. Take care.